want to fight, and they want to be up in C9's face.
Bad bias, Toby.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bad Toby, yeah. So going into this game is... looking at Cloud9's lineup is what I want to point out first, is that they got the opening that they're always looking for. They got the first pick Doom. And what I'm worried for them right from the get-go in this game is that when you saw how the previous game went with how Na'Vi played, they were like, this is actually a pretty good recipe to playing against Cloud9. Let's do it again. They don't have the same heroes, but they have the same kind of style. They want to put pressure early on. Instead of the Enigma, they now have the Prophet with the summons for the front lining. Instead of the Veno, they now have the Shadow Shaman Mass Serpent Wards, and then they just brute force fights with Brewmaster Ultimate and Death Prophet with the Exorcism. I was actually expecting Na'Vi to last pick the Chen over the AA, just for the extreme team fight and early game push, but they might be prioritizing the AA for the chilling touch in early engages so they can get some easy kills and then
I got a feeling, man,
Ice Blast for the team fight.
The only reason why this AA is up, and initially I was like, okay, it's obviously like you're looking for first blood, looking to go through the jungle. It's an enabler for the offlaner. They're actually running a try offlane with a Shadow Shaman. It doesn't happen very often, but with the Ancient Apparition, it makes it possible. So he'll work it with a Force, which gives a lot more space to Funnick up on the top lane as the Prophet, and Dendy, he knows he can have that rotation support come in from Na'Vi at any point. So it's nicely done from there. And you're not thinking, hey, let's just farm up inside the jungle with these heroes, and that kind of like screws around with Pylai Die, because the greatest thing about a bounty hunter is normally when he goes up against a jungler, he leeches the experience. He finds some pick-offs on some big creeps, and that's basically all she wrote. But he can't do anything as far as harassment goes on this bottom lane. He literally gets shut down.
It's the biggest weakness of the support bounty hunter out of all. It's simply, if he needs to be played as a lane support, he is pretty awful compared to all other regular supports. And bounty hunter usually isn't played as a support.
Look at the top lane,
generally
man.
Played as an offlaner.
Look at the top lane. Pylai knows he's in trouble. There's a sentry ward on the lane, and purposefully, Funnick is leaving this Tringan just off to the side. So he can't actually contest Prone 7 for farm, which isn't a great thing for Funnick, but what he can do is always make sure he doesn't die or get anywhere near close enough to death. Like, because he won't get too close to Prone 7 or Pylai Die.
And at the same time in the bottom lane, Eternal Envy has chosen to leave the lane for a bit, going out to look for a creep. This is quite a long time it's taking him for this. And at the same time, Na'Vi will just be pulling back the lane. So the equilibrium now easily in their favor on the lane, and there is no pull available for Cloud9. So this is actually a really big problem for them. And as far as the mid lane goes, that one is at least going even for them. So Sing Sing is getting a decent start with some good farm. I think Ember Spirit has to be the big player in this game, because when you look over at Cloud9 and what Na'Vi are planning, Na'Vi want to push towers. It's no secret.
Oh yeah.
Cloud9 knew that early on in the draft, even when you saw how Na'Vi were picking it. They don't have good wave clear. They actually don't have anything to deal with creeps.
They're coming mid, but look at the sentry ward. It's already down, so he sees Pylai Die. He's going to walk back into him, and maybe Searing Changer does connect on Dendy, and now he's going to go down. Trying to go for the silence, but Eternal Envy appears out the jungle at just the right time.
It is so important for Cloud9 to get off to a good start in this game. I think if they lose the early game, or if they play just a somewhat even one, I'm not sure their draft can handle Na'Vi in the mid game. There's a lot of pressure on the bounty hunter to perform, to set up ganks like the one he just did in the mid lane, because if that doesn't happen, as I said, no wave clear.
Yeah.
When you're playing a pushing lineup, this is like the dream team to fight into, because Cloud9 just look like a lineup that can't team fight back until they have items and crucial levels up.
Yeah.
And Na'Vi might just be getting to that phase a little too early for them, but at least with that first blood for Sing Sing, the reason he needs to be the big player is they need the damage, and Flame Guard could be one of the solutions to Na'Vi's push here.
Yeah. At the same time, the push isn't even started. We're 3 minutes in. I'm looking at a Vorst who's going to be able to buy up his Arcane Boots shortly, and that's an enabler for Kuro and Puppey to spam out a little bit more. But I almost want to give massive props to Aoi 2000 for not dying on this bottom lane. It could actually be one of the biggest things. He's trying to stay close to fun experience, but he can't actually achieve that because Puppey and Kuro are basically being really good watchmen and keeping him away from the creep wave. But Aoi is just making sure this tier 1 tower, if it's going to come under pressure, you can at least drag the creep wave back and keep the power, keep the pressure.
Top lane, they're going in on Funnick.
He's going to go into the jungle. The TP's coming in. Bone 7, he's going to be in trouble. The Cock's pushing Kuro back away, and Kuro can't reach Bone 7 just yet. He might be able to cut through. He's got shackles, but Pardai's also here. There's no sentry ward revealing the position, though. So the creep wave will just follow Bone 7 out, and that means now on bottom lane, Skyred feels a lot more confident because the synergy is gone. There's no shackles to hold him for the cold feet. Then again, Puppey never even leveled that.
We're probably going to see AUI level up to level 3 or 4 from this, since the push is already going his way from Na'Vi. There's 2 range creeps pushing down the lane here, so now he's going to be in a great position on this lane, and I think getting levels on Skyrath could set them up for some more ganks early on. when I'm looking at Navi's lineup, I'm thinking Cloud9's
mid lane,
main priority is to kill Dendy. They're actually going to do it again here.
He got it off so the Searing Chains can't be used, so he's back in range of the tower. He needs more help coming in. The Courier trying to fly in some extra items. The Sing Sing, he does take a large amount of damage from that tower. But they still get a second kill over on Dendy, and that makes it worthwhile.
This is the best hero for Cloud9 to focus on, for sure.
That's rather aggressive, man. Going past the tower, clapping onto the tree line, thinking that Aoi 2000 was still in the neighborhood. But he was nowhere near him.
Another thing we haven't talked about just yet is, you know, when you first pick Doom, there's been a lot of teams that have tried counter-picking Doom by just getting heroes where you don't care so much about getting Doom.
Sing, he's coming up with the Invis rune. He can Searing Chain 2 heroes right now, and he's in range for it. He only got Funnick, however, but I can pick up both kills. Funnick into the tree line, and Cloud9, the Sprout, he can TP himself out for the call from 07, push him straight back out again. It's just been superb play by Cloud9. It really felt like Na'Vi got the upper hand to drop, but Cloud9 have the upper hand in plays so far.
They are playing the perfect early game so far. The rotations from Pi have been great. Now Sing Sing rotating top with the Invis rune to secure a double kill for Bone 7. He's already level 6, 5 minutes in on the clockwork as a result of this.
He's going for Aoi 2000. There's a chilling touch bonus damage. A boss gets the clamp slow and damage off, and Aoi will go down here on the bottom lane. So Na'Vi finally getting themselves on the board. 5 minutes into the game, and that was the same time C9 was coming down here for a kill, because they moved Pylai died down to this bottom lane. But you see what happens, you get a kill with Na'Vi, and instantly with the Prophet down here, they just force into the lane. This is still a pushing lineup coming out.
The hook shot is available, though he's gonna go in again too!
And they're gonna go harder. Funnick, he's locked in, the battery assault, he's trying to move back here, Funnick, so Puppy takes the damage, but it's gonna be too much. Puppy goes down, double kill for Bone 7. Horse being sealed up here by Aoi. He'll TP out, Krob makes his way in, he actually stops unless he lets it go. There's a level death, as you said, meaning a Vorst will go down, and Dendy, he's just sitting here with his ultimate. He feels he's safe, he's got Pylai right behind him, and Bone 7's coming up pretty close as well. He's got no battery assault, but cogs him 3 seconds. Dendy, the ultimate is wearing off in a moment, and he's getting killed off. He just hung around way too long. And free gold while Sing Sing on top lane. He will get a Searing Chain off, but will still die. A counter gank, but Na'Vi have lost so much to C9 in just the first 6 minutes.
It's just amazing to watch how many openings they're finding with the few tools they have. I was worried for Cloud9 that they wouldn't be able to find these early game ganks, and they're finding way more than I thought they would. Even if they were to play a good game, this is just phenomenal play. Like,
yeah. It's been really weird from Na'Vi,
8 kills 6 minutes in with the support Skywrath and Bounty is pretty incredible. It's not to say that Bounty is a bad roamer, he's actually one of the great ones with an early Over Venom, but they've just, all these kills have just been executed really smoothly. Pretty much, they've had few things to use and they've just used them perfectly. It's pretty incredible.
I'm just still trying to understand what Na'Vi was trying to achieve down there. Like, forcing the tower is one thing, but then you rotate in Dendy. He throws the ulti out, but he's not even in range of the tower. So C9 managed to get Na'Vi to burn not only the ultimate of Crobulus, a lot of time, and heroes of Na'Vi. They all went down.
I think Na'Vi weren't ready for the hook shot. They didn't even, they might have not realized that clock was level 6 so early. Yeah, they're going to get Aoi.
There's a dude coming out from Eternal Envy to a boss, but a boss out of all the heroes of Na'Vi, he can tank that one as long as he can keep his distance here from Eternal Envy. But Funnick, he has no man for a Sprout and was also on cooldown. A boss level death from Envy will ensure the kill. No potential of denying out to a neutral there, or even getting him to that regeneration rune that was just bolted up by Krob on the bottom lane. But now Koro, oh, he's in trouble. He's in so much trouble. Gets hit, Janata slowed down, Spirit in, Spirit out. And a very simple execution there from Sing Sing will get the kill and pushing the tier 1 tower on the top. So the first tower gets to be claimed actually belongs to C9.
If they keep this up, so we put a lot of emphasis on how Na'Vi's lineup was going to be scary in the mid game once they get their items and can start their push. But when Cloud9 are so far ahead, they get very many options for executing ganks. With Na'Vi's heroes as fragile as they are right now, there's pretty much no one Sing Sing can't solo at this moment. They have a level 8 clockwork at 8 minutes, and he's 5-0 on the offlane clock in this game. Bone 7, arguably for me also his best, hands down best hero in the game. He is a very, very good clockwork player. So, oh, that was an interesting sound.
Yeah, so Na'Vi are now coming back towards the mid lane. All right,
yeah. They're going to have to try to put pressure. If they wait around, they get killed all the time.
Their bottom lane failed. They need to bring down tier 1 towers. Their behinds, they need to have some kind of advantage. Now, fortification will be used by Cloud9. We've actually got Doombringer TPing to, okay, the tier 3 tower in the middle lane, a grand total of a quarter of the map. And he'll be picking up a new creep at the moment. Sing missing on the Searing Chains. So Denny's going to feel a little bit more confident here in the middle lane, but a little bit of Shuri Toss, a little bit of Rocket Erasmus can put the clockwork in the back of their mind. And you can see Bone 7 moving out. This one range creep kind of spoils his party on the side, but it reveals to Na'Vi that he's there. I'm surprised too that Funnick is keeping his tree so clumped up here in the middle lane. If Clockwork's coming for a hook, you want these trees nicely spaced out across the mid, so they can be interceptors there for the hook shot.
So Na'Vi just used the Exorcism and touched the tower a little bit. I think it wasn't even full health when they started. Great counter ward there coming out by Aoi, by the way. This is a sneaky ward spot a lot of the time, which gives some great vision up there, and it's hard to counter ward, but he was aware of it. But anyway, that push only taking some health on the mid-tier 1 tower. And if Na'Vi are not able to bring down towers at this point, they were trading farm on a Brewmaster and a Skywrath. I would actually say right now, Aoi has a higher impact than the Brewmaster does if he lands his silence correctly. He's level 7 on a position 4 support, I guess, since the bounty arguably is the position 5 in this game. But level 7 supports 9 minutes in is generally some of the best you're going to see. So Cloud9 just have all the tools available to them, and we haven't even talked about how easily they can snipe any hero on Navi's lineup. Hookshot into Cox, into Mystic Flare is a safe kill. And they can even do the same with Searing Chains as well. There's just so much combination potential now for Cloud9 that they got over what could have been a rocky early game, but just turned out being a rocking early game instead, to be honest.
Man, Pilot Eye, there's a ping that came out from Puppey. He's feeling the experience being drained out. So he knows Pilot Eye is just taking a little bit more from here.
Oh, classic Pi.
He's looking for it. But Na'Vi is aware of this. This actually has the bottle of Dandy as well as the Brutes of Puppey. And maybe that's the reason why the courier just came back. He's looking for Anthing, and now he will be revealed. That was a very, very clear Shadow Walk in front of Funnick.
He's still going to walk around here, though. There is a sentry ward down.
It's a trap.
If he walks in here, he's really dead. Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's in range. They can see him, but they won't initiate unless there's some kind of... Brewmaster's here with no mana. What's he going to do anyway? You can at least afford a Blink Dagger. So this is actually a nice timing for the Blink Dagger. 11 minutes here for Revost. And now he's back in range again, but there's more support. Funnick being nuked down. Blinded by the Mystic Flare. Getting caught out in the cogs and hookshot there at Bone 7 as well. And this Observe Ward's working overtime, and it helps because of Funnick. He cleaned off this little tree line area here, which is giving this ward so much more usefulness.
Yeah, and if you're checking the area the sentry ward from Na'Vi is watching, they're really, really close to be able to counter ward it, but they can't see it. So they have like no idea where this ward is actually, because generally a lot of teams will put their wards somewhere in this area, which is why they sentried obviously, but Na'Vi didn't find it. And it's providing a lot of utility for Cloud9 right now and a lot of intel.
And of course the sentry getting dewarded means that once again you can see Pilot Eye freely walk around this map. On bottom lane, Doombringer, he's a long way up. TP support's coming in, and Koro instantly into the shackles. Funnick also TP's himself in, and that's going to be a very, very dead Eternal Envy on the bottom lane.
Na'Vi need to turn this into some sort of collateral. They need to start getting the towers. They will start pressuring bottom here. They'll be trading though. So Cloud9 will be getting this tier 1 mid unless this Ice Blast is actually really damn good. The Prophet all as well in the Cloud. Oh my goodness.
Revost was very quick to blink in there and get the clap, ensuring the Pilot Eye went down, which means this tier 1 tower is going to take a fall in the bottom lane. Krob didn't have to expend her ultimate.
Bone 7 again.
Clockwork hooks in. Koro locked in position. Mass Servant Ward. It's not a full trap though. So Bone 7 will get himself back. The tower goes down, being denied, in fact, by the double damaged up Ember Spirit. And where is Revost coming in? He's got Blink off cooldown in 1 second time. He can blink to actually find Aoi, but he goes over for Sing Sing. Searing Chains are at home there, and he goes for the split. Jumps up, but he jumps back as well. But he's not in range of anyone else here from Na'Vi.
That's a really big deal for Sing Sing here that he manages to bait out, I would say, that split. It was not necessary at all and was not going to work out with the Spirit already flying away, so... Advantage coming out there for Cloud9, I would say. Yes, they did lose their tower, but now Na'Vi can't fight for a while. Without split, I still think the superiority in the team fight is Cloud9's.
They still have Krob ulti as well as Ice Blast, and that may just be enough to keep Cloud9 back.
Yeah, at the very least for Na'Vi, they didn't lose the mid tower because of their great...
Denny's committing, but look where Pilot Eye is. They can see him. He's underneath the sentry ward, so they just nuke him down straight away. Bounty's on the sidelines. The creep wave's still pushing in. Do they just count this as a victory? I think they do.
I don't think Na'Vi have what it takes right now to siege this, and they are going to give up on it. They'll TP top and start split pushing. There's the Doom going out on Koro in mid.
Someone's going to get close to a dime. He's underneath the tower. The TP support's coming in.
And the rocket.
The rocket's going to come in. Denny's still got the remainder of his ult, but this is only up for like 3 seconds, and now it's actually worn out. Clockwork hooks a long way in. Puppet's got nothing to help him. Skyrock drops the ulti, and Denny, with Bone 7 Blade Mail up, he can't even attack him to stop him. Very quick, very efficient kills coming out here from Cloud9.
Damn, this Clockwork has been a good hero this game.
You wonder right now.
The moment I saw the pick, I was like, okay, this is a good clock pick, but I was not expecting it to be this useful. Bone 7 has been playing some phenomenal Clockwork.
They gave him the space too, because Funnick was sitting up there on the top lane going, yeah, I'll attack you, and then all of a sudden, Highlight Eye, this Invis guy, I didn't think it'd be as effective. I almost want to say that because of the Bounty Hunter, that Funnick was really just...
Oh, speaking of Funnick, he could be in trouble here. Pi is going to find him here.
Yeah, in the corner.
He's just going to track. He will have Shuriken if he starts teleporting, so he'll be using that right now. And Funnick is
dead. And that's a track kill. Waited longer.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Kuro is going to get caught out as well. Bone 7.
Oh, man.
Finding kills everywhere together with AUI. And at the same time, Sing Sing is farming and split pushing the bottom lane. Cloud9 are all over the place, and Na'Vi just can't find a foothold anywhere in this game. Now, the mid tower already going down. Sing Sing is starting to pressure the bottom tower even more. Now, the A ult is going to fly in, it's going to whiff completely. Sing Sing will be clearing out this wave quickly, and he does have a spirit behind him, so he can play pretty aggressively right here. The only thing he needs to look out for is the Death Prophet silence. He'll be backing out now.
The second you see that rocket coming from the side, look at this. Deadly as well as Evost, they back themselves up towards the tower and then hug the very, very far tree line. They're expecting the Clockwork to be over near the Ancients or in towards Roshan. You just never know when the rocket flare's flying across. And now...
Bounty. Pilot Knight just warded.
Yeah.
He got scouted here. There might be a counter.
They already threw down a sentry ward in the river, so he can't come down there. And now, okay, another one there, and he's close. He's close. The clap will go, but they need some extra detection. Invis, there goes your dust. Pydeye will take a fall. Now, Na'Vi were prepping themselves to go in for Roshan just then. Funnick TP'd himself in and made an army of trees that's just sitting inside the pit. And Denny, he's going to commit the ultimate. They know how far behind they are right now. They need something big. They use Krob ulti, they use Mass Serpent Wards. They need this Roshan, and they need it quick.
And they will get it as well. This is the kind of fight that Cloud9 can't take. The one where Na'Vi organized, get in, get all their stuff used, stand in one big bunch. Because again, the damage from Cloud9 just isn't there yet. They're exceptionally good at pickoffs. So as long as they find that, they're going to be fine. But Na'Vi really making good use of their ultimates there. This is an important play for them. They have 10,000 golden experience behind, actually.
Sing Sing.
They need to find more.
It's just Searing Chains of Awesome holders in there.
It's going to be fine.
No,
4K gold.
I almost want to give more props to C9. Yeah, Sing Sing's got a hell of a lot. But they also knew, okay, if you can't take the fight on Roshan, what do? An Eternal Envy took out the tier 2 tower on the top lane. They're completely cut off Na'Vi from their own jungle. C9 have got map control. They're finding pickoffs left, right, and center with the help of Highlight Eye. And every time they do, they push their gold advantage even higher. Sure, it's only a level 1 track right now, but the more kills that happen, level 2 track comes up. Na'Vi cannot continue to get picked off like this. All ultis or not, it's the death of them, and it will be the elimination of them if they're not careful.
The real issue for Na'Vi here is to get into an organized team fight. It's very easy for them to get an organized fight.
Jumping bottom lane, he can't go on Sing Sing. It's almost like a bit of, or maybe he can. With a little bit of silence, they could have controlled him. And the pings are coming out saying Pilot Eye is running through that bottom river again. Both Observer and Sentry Ward are watching his movements here. So Prophet TP's in. He'll have to dust almost straight away, and he did manage to connect on Pilot Eye. Vortex slowing him down. So even though he's out of range of the Sentry Ward, the dust still remains, but they cannot reach him. Kuro with no Blink Dagger. Puppy has an Ice Blast as Pilot Eye goes invis again, but the dust, it's about to wear off. In fact, it has worn off. A secondary Sentry Ward, but Kuro still not in range. And the rest of C9, Pilot Eye's almost walked the entire map to reach them inside the Dire Side jungle.
I guess it was about time he actually got away. At some point you're going to escape, right? The last 3 times he's been getting caught out. But
and it means that we've also burnt Sentry Wards for Na'Vi.
So here's the issue for Na'Vi. They have a great teamfight lineup. They want to deathball some sort of lane, but with Cloud9's good early game, they're starting to split push very well. They've got Envy in one lane, they've got Sing Sing in another lane, and they've got the constant threat of Clockwork being missing. He's not going to get close to that.
It was sitting for like 10 seconds next to that Radiant Observer Ward. That's why he was moving himself over. He's like, this is just like free gold sitting there.
Na'Vi, what they need to accomplish is to find some sort of way into a team fight, or just to get to a tower without trading. But Cloud9 constantly putting so much pressure on the lanes, it's getting really difficult for Na'Vi to find a fight on their terms. And even should they find that fight, it's not even an obvious win for them. They do, I would still say, even though they're behind on gold, they actually still have a team fight advantage. But any good sort of hookshot combination with the Skywrath could easily make work on one of Na'Vi's heroes. And if they manage to silence and kill off Havost instantly, I don't think Na'Vi can even take the fight anymore.
I'm with you on that one, man. I kind of thought the Clockwork was going to take a fight in middle lane. He had an Invis rune. He was walking right next to Havost the entire time. And not to mention then Denny was also tracked up, so they had perfect vision of that. It feels like Na'Vi need a gem, but I don't think anyone on the Na'Vi side feels confident enough to hold one of those, let alone afford one of those. But the Yule Scepter looks like it's coming in, and that's going to be finished up here for Crop in just a moment. They need to let Denny have these last hits here in the mid, but looks like Havost going to snipe one out.
And Cloud9 aren't scared of playing the farming game. First of all, they're one of the good teams at playing this kind of split push style where you just farm multiple lanes. They've had great success with it with Envy's Morphling, with Sing Sing on the Ember Spirit as well. And they do have one of those heroes in this game. And arguably, if this game goes really late, the Ember Spirit is going to be completely crushing the majority of Na'Vi's lineup. And what do Na'Vi have in late game? They have a Prophet. Death Prophet can get strong as well, but Brewmaster falls off a lot in the very late game. And they, I would say, late enough, there goes Clock.
He's going to split. He gets it off. He gets a split out. With the Crop ulti down too, they're going to go deep in here, Na'Vi. Slow searching for Bone 7. There's the hold, four-staffing him a little bit further away. Sing Sing, he's in the middle of this Na'Vi lineup as Denny runs himself deeper in. Dendy, so low on life. He's got the Aegis Mob. He doesn't want to burn it off because then he loses his ultimate. The Brewmaster rolling now going to wear off as well. Looking for the clamp. Kills off Sing Sing. Clockwork. Bone 7 back into it. And Koro melding next to the Doombringer. Bone 7 actually picks up the double kill. And they blew the Aegis to the Immortal. So Denny comes back alive again. Tracked up instantly. The high movement speed for the BK beat up Eternal Envy. Chasing him down. The Orbs are chasing as well. And there is a 4-star into the slight chain. Giving 19 to 8. The tier 1 tower might be claimed.
It's going to clip Ali. This is not going to be enough. It's pretty close, but he needs to drop below 85 health, I believe. It's level 1. Yeah. So
he's fine.
He'll be okay. Nice attempt from Puppey there, but great fight again by Cloud9. They find... You know, that's what I'm saying, that fight wasn't even that ideal for them. They jump in Bone 7 with the Clockwork. They don't get the silence up from the Skywrath, so the split comes off. So Na'Vi actually do get some sort of a chance of fighting. At the very least for Na'Vi, they got the tier 1 tower, but Bone 7 with the Axe Scepter manages to get another hook shot off very shortly after. And the follow-through from the rest of his team just...
Is Paladai going to do anything here? Funnick was about to TP in to help him out. Not enough mana for Bounty Hunter to have the damage to kill a Puppey.
Oh, he's going to get sprouted. No Quelling Blade.
There's the dust. There's the A ulti going to come in. He'll connect on him as well. And with a Prophet ulti bouncing over. Highlight Eye is punished for being a little over-aggressive inside the dire side jungle, but the rest of C9 is smoked up, and Bone 7, he wants to hook in right now, and he's looking for the target. Havost and Koro, they're on the other side of the creep camp, but he can pick up almost 2 right now. Hookshot's up, actually misses on the hookshot, and Koro will hex him up, needs him out 7 more up, but he's sealed up out of at least the Mystic Flare. And Havost will back up. He was actually 7 seconds off having his own Denny. Yeah, Yule Scepter up will buy Denny a little bit of time. Funnick with the mech. He just sits there and TPs himself out. That could be punished. Funnick, in fact, turns around right now, and the support's coming in. Sing Sing jumps away with the attack from Funnick, will follow him out. Bone 7 has still managed to kill off Denny, and the support rotates in. Brewmaster has to go into the split. He had no other choice with Eternal Envy having Doom off cooldown. He sends the Doom up, and who's he really going on here? There's no support coming in. Hookshot's been thrown out.
Havost needs to get out with the Earth Ruling if he wants a chance of surviving this. He's going to try it now.
He's going to blink straight away, but wait for the attack of Owie. He's trying to wait as long as possible to hit the timing perfect, but the blink will still come out from Havost, and he gets away to safety.
Another fight won by Cloud9. They're keeping the map relatively well pushed. They've only lost, you know, they're playing against this kind of Na'Vi lineup. They've lost 2 towers in 22 minutes. I think it's a great accomplishment for them. Even with the amazing early game they had, it's still not easy to hold on to this much of the map at this point. They're just controlling it very well. I think Highlight Eye is like the unsung hero of this game because, yes, he is dropping dead a couple of times, but he takes so much attention from Na'Vi. They keep having to buy Dust and Sentries to counter him out. He still gets out some really crucial wards, giving them so much intel and telling them how they can actually play around the map. And I was doubting the support bounty pick. I was like, when Na'Vi starts team fighting and pushing, this bounty is going to be useless, but he's just set up so much and he's bought so much time that it turned out to be an amazing pick for Cloud9 in this game. And I want to point out too, so Bone 7, I think we can probably agree that his performance on Tide in the previous game was underwhelming.
Yes.
It's like if you take the average of the last game and this one, he's still way above average on his performance. He's currently 10, 0, and 7 on the Clockwork. Absolutely outstanding performance.
He's been perfect. I don't think we've had a single time where we've said, oh, hookshot missed. That actually hasn't happened yet. He
missed one.
He missed one.
I saw one.
Well, that was the one which he was doing on the Spirits?
He missed one. What a scrub.
Yeah, obviously. We'll uninstall Total later. But yeah, 22-10 now on the board. And they just keep moving forward. Sing Sing, with his Battle Fury up and running, continues to farm up. He's actually got a hell of a lot of CS. He's 150 CS. He's not high on the net worth, however, mainly because he's got 3 deaths to his name. This is not helping his case. But when you have players like Eternal Envy, who have a over 13k net worth, now with Shivas, Mech, as well as BKB, 24 minutes into the game, you're feeling pretty good. And Envy actually going in, because he didn't go for the Blink Dagger. We don't see the Hoof Stomp into the Centaur War Runner aura in on the Doombringer. He just goes for the Pack Wolf. He's buffing up the extra damage here of Cloud9.
It's really good for him to have that. Oh my god.
That was just painful to see. And Koro, well, lost.
Oh, he didn't get the clap off.
This is a real disaster right now. He didn't clap. He just went for the split because he saw Eternal Envy.
If Na'Vi don't make any use of the split, which they can, they're going to lose the mid tower for sure, and maybe even a second tower, or maybe even Cloud9 going high ground or Roche. Na'Vi lose so much teamfight potential out of that split being wasted.
Yep. 100 seconds on cooldown now for the Brewmaster split. This is tier 2 tower lost. Na'Vi can't contest.
Good AA ultimate from Puppey. We'll clip 2 heroes here.
It's still, though, it's a level 1 AA ultimate with no extra buff ups from Aghanims. It's just not enough. Even Prophet Ultimate bounces around, but the entire creep wave up the middle lane just tanks it. What level is this? Yeah, okay, it's a level 2 Wrath of Nature. It kind of felt like a level 1 as it bounced around.
Na'Vi will not be losing the second tier 2 though, since the bottom lane is nicely pushed out here by Funnick. Rocket will try to push it up a little bit, but
I think they may just try and go for a fight if they can. If Na'Vi, yeah, look at them come up. They actually smoke up and move out, and then the blink away from Pylai die.
And the dust being used there by Kuro as well, so now that's on cooldown.
And look at C9, they know they can fight. Bone7 is in a position right now where he wants to just directly hook in. He's got a perfect target. He's got 2 lined up, and there it is, hook shot in. Pumpy, there's your mech, but the Mystic Flare kills him off, and Dendy getting destroyed on the back line. The Mass Overlords go down, but Envy, he is bringing the doom the way of Na'Vi, and Koro also going down. The Brewmaster running out through the top river, but he's got Owie throwing the birds at him. Earn charges, everything they've got, almost enough damage. Really low on Pylai, but he goes infinite, and Havas goes down solo to Owie, proving to once and for all that he is important, and all of Na'Vi are on the sidelines. And Na'Vi, man, I think now, this kind of feels like they're out of it.
This is almost impossible to come back from. The lead is now 20,000 in a 26-minute game, and they're actually even playing a lineup that I would still say is worse in the late game, so Cloud9. You know, I was nervous for them after the second game, since, as we talked about before the series even began, Na'Vi extremely experienced under pressure like this, and Cloud9 have been struggling in some series in important grand finals, and you could be worried for Cloud9 going into an elimination match like this in such a great tournament that they wouldn't be able to pull it off. They've just silenced the critics here in game 2.
Look at the damage. He has to Yule Scepter up right now. That level death bonus damage was there too, and they just track him. The second he comes back down, Puppy, the Searing Chains is almost killing him. If there's a hook shot, they'll take the kill, but looks like Cloud9 will give Na'Vi a bit of respect.
Get the rocket snipe. Oh, he got bottled.
Yeah, he's alive.
And the rocket misses. So Cloud9, they will be backing out. They almost got the tier 3 tower. And as I said earlier, they're not in a rush anyway, so if just look at the warding as well, by the way. They're completely controlling the map. The one at the top here, they've got one around the Roche area. Should Na'Vi try to sneak that. One at the bottom tier 2. Even one up here at the... I mean, there's pretty much nothing that Na'Vi can do that Cloud9 aren't aware of. The only way they even get out on the map is with smoke, but Pylai out with the Blink Dagger, he's almost constantly got someone tracked, and oh my goodness, Kuroki again.
Singh was farming on bottom lane and then just jumped in towards middle lane to take the kill.
This has not been Kuro's game, but it's also a very hard game to play Shadow Shaman in with how much farm the Clockwork got, but he's now 0-10 on the Shadow Shaman. It's just, it doesn't really matter where Kuro goes. There's so many heroes that just snipe him off. The Skywrath Mage, the Ember Spirit, especially the Clockwork, and any combination of 2 of those will just one-shot him pretty much, so.
Look at Na'Vi, they're clutching for some kind of hope And the only one they've really got is Funnick on that bottom lane, but Navost, Searing chained up. Aoi didn't actually attack. They lost the sight of him over the tree line as the nighttime did strike. But there's just some kind of like, maybe Proper can push out past Navost. Jump in, nuke down again. This time it's Eternal Envy that will take the kill. But Skyrat, that Mystic Flare, keeps dropping down. The Brewmaster split's been used again. Now the Searing Chain over on Koro and Dendy back in the middle. Dropping him low. The Brewmaster sending the Ember up. But Havos, he's got to get out of here again. But maybe they can kill off Sing Sing. The Hex, the Silence, the Crypt Swarm. Maybe it's enough damage, and it is. They bring him down. Now jumping over towards Aoi. Letting Dendy Dolly go to work. The buyback has already come out from Sing Sing. Rejoining the engagement. And Clockwork! The walls will come down, however. Havos, he's dying inside. It's a double kill for Bone 7. Funnick trying to TB out. He's got enough time. No, he doesn't. He burns up. And the only one alive is now the captain of Na'Vi, looking at the corpses of his teammates down the middle. And there is nothing he can do. He tried to Ice Blast, a hook shot, this time only barely missing on Puppey.
This is easily the tier 3. It's probably Rax as well. Na'Vi have too long left on their respawns here. Dendy will, or Eternal Envy.
He just goes high ground.
Envy's leading the charge here.
Yep.
The barracks are gone. Na'Vi's hopes. This is the first time at any international that they will be knocked out before the grand finals, unless some sort of miracle gets pulled out of the hat here.
Dude, unless C9 unplug their keyboards and mice right now, I don't think Na'Vi is capable of winning this game. They've lost mid-racks now, the range racks, it's almost down, and look at C9. They know this is no-risk Dota. They've seen Na'Vi come back before. They know about the miracles that can happen, and they are not going to give any chance for it to happen. Funnick again, he's attempting to keep this bottom lane out. Well, C9 can just go top. Even if they lose a tier 2 and a tier 3 tower right now, it means nothing to them. Rax is everything.
They're not going to be struggling with map control at all, since they have so good split push with the Doom and the Ember Spirit at this point. So even should they lose a little bit of map control, they're going to be fine. They still have the vast superiority anyway, so these tracks from Pilot just keep coming out. It's got to be really frustrating for Na'Vi to play against, actually. Dendy's going to Yules it off.
Even now, Pilot, he's got Blink Dagger.
This is the desperation play.
He's got Blink Dagger and Force Up. You can't do this. The Rocket will always scout you out, let alone the tracks. And if you get caught in close, like, man, Aoi's even walking around to Skywrath Mage. You can solo anybody. He's got Mystic Flare, he's got Concussive Shot, he's got so much damage which can just seal you up and amplify. And then he's also got his own Rod which he can cast on you. This is everything you've got for the Skywrath Mage. He is a solo killer support. And not to mention Eternal Envy, who's sitting at 3.6k gold right now. The highest net worth in the game, almost reaching 19,000 in 31 minutes. And it's just pushed the entire experience and gold advantage up. It's 27 and a bit, I mean, the XP advantage for Cloud9, and it's almost 25,000 gold advantage their way.
And this smoke is very, very obvious for Cloud9.
Ooh,
they're actually going to even bait out Envy.
They can go right on top of Envy, but then BKB, maybe not so great. Brewmaster starts to split. He's going to keep at least Aoi 2000 out from Envy. Matt Serpentmore trapped up. Nicely done by Koro, but he's already lost his crop. And now in comes Sing Sing. That damage output is just too high. It's a double kill for Sing Sing, triple kill for Sing Sing, and ultra kill for Sing Sing. And GG! Na'Vi are out. Cloud9 have eliminated the 3-time grand finalists of the International for Na'Vi.